It is Judge Cuts 2, and we have special guest judge in the house, Dwane Wade. And let's see what golden buzzer has his heart tonight. Stay tuned. You're watching AfterBuzz TV.
You're tuned in to AfterBuzz TV, the ESPN of TV talk. Now, let the buzz begin.
What is up, AfterBuzzers? I'm Justina. We are here at the America's Got Talent after show here on AfterBuzz TV, and I am accompanied by singer, actress, impersonator, and reality TV star Rachel Swidler.
Wow. Thank you, guys. I love being here at AGT and talking all things talent, singing, dancing, acrobatics, everything. So I'm just so excited to talk about this show.
Yeah, so, I mean, I think each week keeps getting better. I don't know if they're doing this on purpose. They want to just, like, keep reeling us in. But today was a great one. I had a great time watching. I think Rachel did, too. So we kind of wanted to get into the 7 acts that went through because they're the most notable ones we're going to be seeing next week. And or not next week. We're going to be seeing at the live shows. So, let's see who we want to get in first. So let's get in with Dom Chambers, and he is the magician. And the first time we saw him, he was making beers appear all over the stage. This time he sits with Siri, which I think was so interesting that he had Siri a part of his act. Did you think that helped him or hurt him? Because there were a little bit mixed opinions, even though in the end he did make it.
Yeah. I love Dom Chambers. I think he's super cute and super relatable. You just, like Dwane Wade was like, you just have he's like a swagger about him. And I think Dwane Wade liked that as well. He was like, man, I just like want to kick it with you and have a drink, you know? And he just has that type of personality. I thought that what he did was great because I thought it was relatable to all ages. It's very millennial, using the iPhone, using all of that was super smart on his part. I think I wrote down here, like, I disagreed with Simon. I thought his first performance was really great, and I thought this was on the same caliber, if not even better.
Well, yeah, I thought what was really cool was when a couple of things that I wrote down was when he pulled out the card. It was the seven hearts and the cocktail that he made for Julianne, which was crazy. Like, unless that they talked before, then I'm not quite sure really how he would know that.
Yeah, and it was weird because like when I was watching it, I was like, no, you totally like. You could find somewhere to put a drink in there and pour it out. That's it. To me, I was not as impressed. But when he was like, "Well, it's not magic if it doesn't taste like a tequila sunrise," and
like, where did it come from? It was like in the back of the phone. Like, it's the weirdest.
Yeah, it looked like it could have possibly been in a compartment or something. I don't know. I mean, it was a little bit bulkier, maybe. I'm just trying to think at how this could have happened. So the only thing I could think of is maybe there was some secret compartment. It was, it was a little bit bulky of a phone, but the fact that it actually tasted like a tequila sunrise and there was 4 options on there, that's where I'm like, well, how did he do that? How did he know which one was going to be unless there's 4 compartments? I don't know.
And he looked really scared when they were bringing everyone up and letting them know if they made it to the
live
shows. He looked really scared. Like, he looked terrified.
Well, I mean, Simon wasn't in his corner.
He was cute. He almost looked like he was gonna cry.
I know, but he is so adorable, and he definitely deserves to get through. I've talked about him since his audition. I think he was the first week of audition, so I've been talking about.
You love him.
I love him. I think he's really great and different, and I'm a big fan of his. And I wrote wow, and I loved him, and I disagreed with Simon, and I'm so happy he got through, and I picked him to go through. So boom.
Well, you know who also made a boom onto the stage, and that was the one and only G-Force. And these girls really stepped it up. Like, they couldn't have done a better performance, because I think if they stayed with their performance that they originally had, I think they would have not made it if they did that same performance.
Yeah.
But they just, I wrote down here, they were rapping, singing, dancing. Howie didn't like it for some reason. Simon did. I feel like Howie's been like a way more critical judge than Simon.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like Howie and Simon are always the two that are a lot more critical of the acts, but I love G-Force. I loved them from their first audition, you know, giving me Cheetah Girl,
oh yeah,
Spice
Cheetah
Girl vibes
Girls.
up in here. Cheetah Girls, Cheetah Sisters, throw your hands up if you know that you're a star. You better stand up if you notice who you are. Never give up, never stay down. Go power, go power.
Sorry,
I
guys.
I think I wanted to sing that last time that we talked about G4, so I think I'm glad that I subconsciously went there, or consciously, I don't know which one. But I love G-Force. I loved when they were like, we're going to show you that we've always been bosses. I was like, yes, you better work.
I don't know. What do you think? You better work. You know what I think what was the difference about this one? Let us know in the comments too, guys, because there was something about them that they stepped it up, and it's not like it's something that like they've had it the whole time. But what do you think it was specifically about this performance?
I really liked. Well, okay, so when they first started out, I remember feeling, I hope this isn't under. I don't know. It started out slow, very slow, I thought, and I was like, I don't know how this is okay. Because it went into a place where they were just like, work, something like that. I don't know if that was definitely not what it was, but for me,
I'm like, yeah, that was
I just loved their dance break in the middle of it. They were just breaking it down, and I literally wrote work because I loved it, and I said, can I have half of the confidence that these girls have? Can I have half of that?
Yeah, they had so much. They had so much confidence, and when they made it, they were crying. It was so cute. It was so cute.
I know that one girl with the leopard cheetah shirt on. She was so cute. The one that she cried so much the first time, and she cried so much the second time, and she was just super, super cute. I love G-Force. I thought they were original and catchy, and I'm excited to see them go forward.
So do you think that if they had to they did let them go last week. I was going to say, they obviously saw something in them last week that they let them go through. So do you think if they did that same performance, example, like say that they did a performance that was very similar to the week or the...
their first audition?
Yeah. Do you think they would have made it?
I definitely thought this one was better. I just still think they would have made it. I still think
you
they
do.
would. Yeah. I remember the last song. I felt like the first song I did was a little more catchier. They both were really catchy, but I felt like the first one they did was more catchier, and this had more of a performance element to it, where they were incorporating more like dancing.
Yeah.
Than they did the first time.
Yeah. They just did an overall great job. And,
yeah, they did.
And the act that went through, they obviously did a great job, but they're absolutely terrifying, and they are the performing group from India. And we literally have their names, and we kind of spelled them out because we didn't want to seem like we didn't know their names. So it's Kamarjit
and Kamajit. Kamarjit and Kamajit.
Very, very similar names.
There's another one. That one guy has another name, but I didn't catch it. But we didn't want to. We already know we're going to butcher their names, so we're going to just say group from India.
Yeah, I feel like that just makes so much sense. Not offending anyone, we're just saying how it is. So, the last performance that we saw them, which was their audition, they were slamming watermelons all over the place, almost hitting each other in the face. Like, let's get real, that's what was happening. Yet, it resonated so well, we all loved it. This time, I wrote down here, because they were doing some random stuff. The one guy was hitting a guy with like one of those hammers, but with an ice block over him. And then he actually hits him after. The guy takes his shirt and was like said to hit him, which was so weird to me. Everyone was like, what? And then he blindfolds himself and hits a coconut off one of the guy's heads. And Howie was like, what are you? Simon's like, it doesn't matter. That's literally what they asked. Like, what kind of act are you? What kind of act do you think they are?
A death-defying act, because every time I watch it, or like a horror film esque performance, every time I watch them, I wrote down here, I said, they're so funny and they're so likable, despite how absolutely terrifying it is to watch them. Because when they first come up, they're just so polite and they're so cute and funny. They're just very likable. And then to watch them, like I said, I said, this is watching a horror film. When I watch them perform, I feel like I'm watching a horror film, like how I am when I watch a horror film, because I'm always like this. Ooh, you know, I don't know.
It's so true. No, really, they are terrifying, but in such a great way. Look at Gabrielle's face up there.
Yeah.
See, the thing is, what I thought was hilarious was how tall is Dwane? Because they had Dwane go up on the stage and stand next to the guy that's, what, 7 foot?
Yeah.
Wait, did he say 7'6"?
Might have been 7'6" or 6'7". I think it might have been 7'6". I don't know.
That's unreal.
Yeah.
That's almost 8 feet. No. That's crazy. And they said it, but I didn't write it down because I'm like, oh yes. Now I'm like, is it 7'6"? Whatever it is. Do you know how tall Dwane is? Because he's supposedly super tall. That's why they had them stand next to each other.
I don't know. I don't know how tall he is.
Yeah, I want to know how tall. If you all know how tall he is.
We're going to find out right now how tall he is.
Yeah. Let us know.
No, I'll get back to you. Okay, we got somebody
We have Ryan on it. That's one thing I forgot to look up. I was going to look it up, and then the show got too crazy, and I'm like, all right. Now it is time, while we are waiting to figure out how tall he is, it is time for our next act that went through, and that is the one and only Robert Finley, and he is 65, from Louisiana, and he is a singer and carpenter. So he's really a carpenter, but really singing's his passion. And what did you think about him, Rachel?
So I didn't get to see him. Dwane Wade is 6'4".
Oh, wow.
So maybe he's either 6'7" or 7 something. I can't remember exactly.
I think he's 6'7", because if he
6'7".
said if it was 6'7", that's not. Look at the difference between them.
Yeah, there wasn't a big difference, but Jesus,
there was a big difference. And if he's 6'4" and the other guy towers that tall,
yeah, that's ridiculous.
I'd be scared to stand next to him. I'm only 5'2", so that's scary.
Yes.
Anyway.
Robert Finley. Yeah, so Robert Finley, he was on the last week of auditions. I wasn't here for that episode, so I hadn't seen his first performance yet, but I got to see that, and then I got to see a second performance here, and I thought he was good. I loved the story behind it, especially for a 65-year-old man to get on stage and to do that, and the fact that he's went blind, and the story behind it is absolutely amazing. I'm always in awe of young acts like G4s and like Robert, who can get on stage at that age and be like, it doesn't matter what age I am, I'm going to get on this stage and I'm going to own it. And he did. He owned it in exactly the way that he should have owned it. I didn't think that he got through solely based on his voice. I don't think that I don't think his voice is anything that blows me out of the water, but a lot of the times singers, and I wrote down here, like novelty acts or character acts, like a novelty act is kind of like Lady Gaga, because she's constantly just throwing us different elements and surprising us. And it's not only just her voice, but it's the overall package of Lady Gaga, even though she has a beautiful voice. I think with him, he's more of a caricature type of act. I think that he's still very talented and but he has like a niche about him that makes him so very likable and just like you want to see more. But I just don't know if he could hold an entire show on his own. Like what else could he do?
See, like what you're saying is kind of reminding me how you keep saying, you know, what we're going to get into it after, but it's one of the contestants that didn't make through, that Robert Finley has what he doesn't have, the likability, even there are people with better voices than Robert Finley, but something about him exudes and people feel it.
Yes.
But I think he's good. Like, he's great. Not my favorite, just for any particular reason, just not my type of music. It's just, like, not my thing. Like, I think he's good, but he's not one of my top.
Yeah, I mean, he definitely, he's got that blues element. He's telling us a story. We're going on a journey, which I always appreciate when a performer takes me on a journey. But still, I'm not sure. Vegas headliner, maybe.
I don't see Vegas headliner.
I don't see Vegas headliner, and I just don't. I don't know. I don't see him making it incredibly far after this next round.
I agree. And I think, think of, Stevie Wonder, right? Like, he can sing, he can do this, and he's blind. Like, he has that kind of, he has what is it? Like, everybody knows Stevie Wonder. They know, he has that presence. And he has, he can't see well, and he kind of has a presence, too, but it's just a little different. I know I'm comparing them, which is, they're uncomparable, but I don't feel that he has as, a great a voice.
But we're also comparing, I think it's really hard when you're on America's Got Talent and you're just singing. It is.
Yeah.
Because if it was just a singing competition, different story. But you're on America's Got Talent. You better be doing some flips along with playing the piano, along with playing the guitar, and a saxophone maybe coming out of somewhere else. Because, I mean, we've got, what's his name? How am I forgetting his name right now? First week of auditions, Golden Buzzer. Cody Lee. So, I mean, we're thinking, you know, if I'm comparing him to like Cody Lee, I feel like there's not much of a comparison there, you know? So
I feel you.
So great talent, but I don't see him just getting through based on his voice.
No, I mean, I do see what you mean. I don't think he's going to go that far. Not because he's not great. But, and the next person who has amazing talent, and that is Alex Davis, if I'm saying his name correctly.
Yeah.
He recreated Apollo 13 and created, like in the beginning, the face of JFK, which I thought was so interesting that they decided to do this, because it was way more of a serious topic. You know, a lot of acts come out and they're either comedians or they do some fun stuff, and his was very serious. And I thought it was good. Simon said that he has goosebumps on his goosebumps. He got a standing ovation. Everyone loved it. I want to hear your opinion before I say mine.
He's doing some type of painting. If anybody can tell me exactly what it is that he does, because I was confused. I thought the story behind it, and he took me on a journey. And I love storytellers. I love people that take me on a journey. Clearly, this was something that was JFK, Apollo 13, landing on the moon, one small step for man, one giant step for mankind. It looks like it's like a spray can. It's like graffiti-esque type of art, and it's super cool. I just want to know what the official name is for it, because I get confused. But I got goosebumps at the end whenever it was finished, and you know, we heard that classic line, you know, of them landing on the moon. I didn't pick him to go through.
Listen, it's great. I think I liked it. I think that I'm trying to explain this right. I think it was good. I think that it's hard for me to say they have talent because I'm so confused what they're doing.
Yeah.
I'm just being 100% honest with you. I'm so confused. Are they standing and is it already pre-done and they're just going with the flow? Or is he like actually making the lights? Like, I'm confused. So when I watch it, I don't get the goosebumps like Simon says. I don't see what they're saying because I don't really understand it. And I'm not putting him down because I don't know what he's doing. If I could just maybe understand, and kind of like what you were saying, Rachel, it must be different in person.
Yeah,
you were even saying. You're like, I think it's different in person.
I think we need to know the mechanics behind it and exactly like what it is. It's like, is he doing this right on the spot and creating? I mean, there's a lot of things going on, like the rocket shooting off and landing and things being, and you're just sitting there like, how is all this stuff happening? Is there like a technical thing behind it? Is this pre-done, predetermined? Is it just him? I don't know. I feel confused as well. Did we see him in any of the auditions?
Yeah, we did. I just
so
can't
you saw him
week.
Probably the last week then, because if I don't remember, it's from the last week.
Yeah, I saw him. He just like I said, I don't really remember
not as memorable.
I don't remember it. Yeah, I mean, I hate putting people down unless that they're really bad, because like they're not bad. I just don't get it.
It's just we don't get it.
Something I don't understand. So if anybody, let us know in the comments if it's something that like you're really into and why you like it. Just because I'm interested in always hearing different opinions and stuff like that. But before we get into the judges, before we get into the acts that didn't make through, we're gonna get into our last act, and that was Ryan Niemiller. And Ryan, to me, stepped it up. I am not a comedian person.
Yeah, you've made that very clear.
Always say it. Not a comedian person. I still wasn't like belly laughing. I still don't know. This sounds so messed up. I don't know if I'd go see him. Like, because comedians are hard for me, but I could even tell he stepped it up.
Yeah. Oh.
Like, I could feel it. I could feel the confidence. As Simon said, what did he say? That if a comedian's confident, you're confident. And that's exactly how I felt. He didn't tiptoe around everything. Even if I didn't find his joke super funny, he was on point. And I just was like, confident comedian.
Yeah. I mean, I loved Ryan. I thought he was way better than his first audition. I thought he was good the first time around, but this time I actually laughed. And I actually found a lot of it funny. In specifics, when he said, I don't date because they say no. He goes, I don't know what that's about. I did not deliver that nearly as well as he did, but he is so funny, and it is so true when you do comedy. You have to be so confident in it. I remember when I was in college, I wanted to be a part of the improv comedy troupe that we had in college, because I've always loved comedy. It's my favorite thing ever. I love it. But I remember always feeling like I was going to be judged by my peers. And so I never took that step to join the troupe because I was so nervous. I was so scared. So the older I've gotten, the more confident I've gotten. But it's so nice to see somebody who, clearly has been held back in life, has disabilities, has had all these roadblocks, if you will, and how he has now come out on top.
I think he's going to make it far. I think he's going to make it pretty far.
I do too. I 100%
I don't know if a comedian has ever won, at least in the last few years since I've been watching it. I haven't noticed that, but he kind of, I feel like he's going to make it as far as, like, last season there was a comedian, Vicky Barbalak, and she made it pretty far. She made it to the final.
That's right. Yeah.
But so I feel like he may be like that. I don't know if he'll win it, but I think he's
going to make it far for sure.
Yeah, I think he's definitely going to make it far. But before we get into the acts that didn't go through, Rachel, what do you have to tell us about AfterBuzz TV?
So here at AfterBuzz, we love you guys so much. We love to hear from you. We just want you to like, subscribe, comment, give us all of that because we love you. We love to hear from you. What are we on? We're on YouTube and Spotify, everything that you can think of, we're on. So we love you guys. And remember, we are the ESPN of Talk TV. So we want to keep being the ESPN of Talk TV. So leave those comments, leave those likes, give us 5 stars, tell us what's up.
Rachel has got it covered for you guys. Yes, we love you. We love hearing from you. Seriously, we really do. AGT super fans. You guys are too, so that means we're all friends.
Yep.
So all right, let's get into the acts that didn't make it through. And we didn't do this last week. I know this isn't like a part we did last week, but because I feel like this week, even if they didn't show a lot, they did really go down the line and show a little bit more of the acts that didn't go through.
Yes.
Usually it's like, go, go, go. But some of them I was like, are they going to keep them? Like, I wasn't really sure. So the first act that didn't go through is Adeline Bates, and she's a singer, and she was the one that sang as a half woman, half man. Do you think that was a good decision not to have her through?
Yes. I mean, we didn't get to see a ton, but what I saw, I didn't think it was anything. I mean, comparatively to the other acts that we saw tonight and that we saw last week, I don't think that she's at the same level. Julianne said, I don't know how you would carry a show.
So true. I thought the exact same thing. Like, how are you going to carry a show by just doing that? But I think 2 people that could carry a show that I'm absolutely devastated didn't make it through was Izzy and Easton, and they're the dancers, and they did 2 warriors fighting for the next round. That was their whole logo, their whole slogan for the night. What did you think when they didn't make it?
I wish I had saw their entire performance. I didn't get to see it. A lot of these acts, not a lot of them, but there's probably I would say there's maybe 2 acts that I didn't get to fully see, and that kind of irritated me because that would have changed who I picked possibly from my personal top 7, or it just would have been nice to see more of these acts. Izzy and Easton, clearly very, very, very talented kids. And I definitely think that, they should have gotten a spot.
I do too. I mean, they're so talented. I wish they gave us a reason why. That's all I want to know is, like, why didn't they make it? Like, they're so talented, like, especially, like, some of the other people. I don't know. I'm just confused.
I think maybe, we didn't get to see the full performance, but, maybe they didn't connect as much. Maybe maybe their presence as performers isn't as well developed and well known. Like,
they're young.
They're so young. Like a Robert Finley, who we know he takes us on a journey. We know exactly who he is. He's got soul. He's got grit behind him. So maybe they didn't feel that as much with them. Like, we're not there in the audience. We don't know 100%.
Well, what did you feel about Michael Paul? And he's the ventriloquist. He killed it on his first audition. This audition, we didn't get to see a lot of, but they did show a part of the act where he made a joke and it flopped and nobody laughed. And it was so awkward.
Yeah, I don't think we need to talk much about him, unfortunately. Sorry. I didn't think he was good. We only saw one part and no one laughed. So I thought he was good the first time with the pooping thing because I think.
I forgot about that.
I think anything with like that is going to be disgusting right now, but I think anything with fart noises and stuff is really funny. So I'm like a 5-year-old child.
She's a kid at heart.
Yeah. So first audition, great. Second audition, no. Sorry.
Next up, Ginzilla, who I did not like their first audition, and I did not like their second performance. He sang a weird version of Material Girl. I think that's great. He didn't make it through. I don't know about you.
I loved Ginzilla in the first round. I mean, I thought he was hilarious. I thought she was hilarious, but. Yeah, she was off key, so apparently.
So, and what did you think about the shadow dancers? Were you surprised?
Okay, there we go. That was the one I picked to go through.
Were you surprised?
Yes and no. I had said to you, I thought it was between Alex Davis and the shadow dance group for that final spot. And I had picked shadow dance group, but they went with Alex. I said... I didn't feel as I went on, I didn't go on as much of a journey as I did the first time I saw them. Also, I agreed with Howie that I was confused. But I think that was because right in the beginning they were talking about like Harry Potter and the Wizard of Oz. So I was like expecting that. And then I was like, maybe hold on. I was like, maybe it's Wicked. And I was like, oh, it's not Wicked either.
Maybe I was
like, I don't know. I was like, now I don't know what's going on. So I got really confused. But it was beautifully stimulating, and like I said, it maybe would have spoken to me more had I been in the audience, because I think stuff like that is really hard to portray through a TV screen.
Totally agree. And the last person that we want to talk about before we go on that actually stood out and I think is worth talking about, Lamont Landers. They made a big deal about him in the first episode, so that's why I kind of thought that he was going to make it. They made such a big deal about him. He's the one that came off really cocky and arrogant the first episode, and then the next episode, today, there was something about him that was a little bit more calm and chill, and he has a great voice, but something wasn't resonating for them. What did you think about Lamont?
I wasn't blown away by him in the first audition. I thought he was a great singer, but I was not...
Nothing special.
Like, nothing stuck with me where I went... Man, this guy, whew, he's so good. You know, I didn't have that feeling. I thought they gave him way too much credit.
Like, I get that feeling for, he made it last week, and I can't remember what his name is. Bigger guy with a beard, and he has such an incredible voice.
Oh, I know who you're talking about, but yes.
Let us know the names if you know, guys. But I know who he is. I just can't remember what his name is.
I just said, again, with Lamont, I said, I thought they gave him too much credit. I was not blown away. And I said, if you're going to be a singer on the show, like I just said, you better bring it. Because this is America's Got Talent. This isn't just American Idol or The Voice.
It's true, and that's how you what I was talking about when it was Robert Finley. How something about him, even if he doesn't have the best voice resonates.
Exactly, nothing resonated with me with Lamont Landers.
Exactly what I was gonna say. And now it's time to get into Dwane Wade's #1 pick of the night, which is the Golden Buzzer, and that was V.Unbeatable.
V.Unbeatable.
So, Rachel, what did you think about V.Unbeatable? Did you think it was well deserved?
Oh my gosh, yes. I thought they blew me away.
Yeah, they were great.
I had said in when they first came on the screens, our first week of auditions, I had said, I've seen stuff like them before, so I was unsure. I thought that they were great, but I was unsure. And if there was ever a moment where I wanted to eat my own words and that they told me, they said, yo, this is why we're here. This was that moment. I was like, are they really frogs? Like they're leaping everywhere. I mean, it wowed me. I loved when Julianne said they were not only a dance crew, but they're acrobats. So because they were breaking it down too. They were breaking it down. I like that.
Exactly. They're not just acrobats. Like they are dancers, and I love how they ended it with the kid just like flipping into the chair.
It was so cool.
There was a lot going on.
There was so much going on, and and then I called it. We both kind of called it about them being the Golden Buzzer. I was sitting there. I was like, no. I was like, no, because
how do we know? Because the way that they intro them.
Yeah, and there was, unfortunately, they did have a member of their team, Vikas, V-I-K-A-S, so if I did not pronounce that correctly, it's V-I-K-A-S, member pass away. And that's something that you see a lot with acts like this, like in Cirque du Soleil. There are unfortunate accidents that happen like that once in a blue moon, and it's so sad. So it's so nice to see them, you know, honoring their friend who passed away. It made me scared though for that performance right after, because I was like, oh gosh, well, I hope nothing happens to them.
Yeah.
But you know, it's nice to see them honor. And then they started playing "You Say" by Lauren Daigle, and I was like, game over.
Yeah, they were amazing. So right now we have V.Unbeatable for the live performance, and then last week we had oh my god,
for the Golden Buzzer.
Yeah.
It's escaping me at the moment, and
I know it.
My other one is over there. So
no, I know it. That's the problem, guys. I know this is gonna pop up before the show's over. I'm like,
we'll think about it before the show's over.
Sophie Pecora.
That's right.
So we have Sophie Pecora and V.Unbeatable in the live show so far. Like we have three. No, we have a lot of definite ones going on for the live shows. I don't know what I am talking about tonight, but now it is time for our special segments.
Alrighty.
Thank you, Ryan, for the cue.
Thank you. So for special segment time, I thought I would talk about 10 tips for a winning audition.
This is such a good one, guys.
Because, you know what, it's so important, especially as people coming up in this industry who don't quite know what they're doing yet, and they're just getting their feeding this, or just getting their ground, you know, just getting grounded. This is a great read. It's from Backstage.com, which is one of the biggest casting websites out there. So it's really spoke to me actually when I read it. So first one, confidence. It sounds simple, but it takes practice. Walk in the room with your head held high. Be wary of shuffling feet. You don't get sympathy points if you're nervous, not feeling well, or having a bad day. Leave it outside the door. You are being sized up the moment that you walk in, so practice good posture and body language before you arrive. And don't forget to smile, because that's the lasting impression. So, yeah. So I thought that was great. 2, personality. Let it shine through. Don't give one-word answers when having a conversation with the casting director. Ask questions. The industry is looking for smart, curious actors. Now, this is geared more towards actors, but I feel like this applies to anybody auditioning, whether you be a singer, whether you be a dancer, whether you be a musician, whether you be going for a 9-to-5 job. These are actually things you can apply in everyday type of audition or interview scenario. So the third one, connection. Make one with the reader. Memorize the material or be familiar enough to maintain eye contact. Knowing the dialogue is important, but making a connection with the reader is what will make the scene natural and believable. So that's mainly geared towards actors. Clearly, memorizing the material. I know there's been many times I've gone into auditions and I get it the night before and I've got to memorize the whole thing, but they really love that. They love it when you know your stuff. And when you know your stuff, they're looking at you like this person's really professional. So that's definitely a positive thing. Number 4, character. Know your character. Read the entire script beforehand to pick up as many clues as possible. We know about a character by the following: what he or she says about himself or herself, what other characters say about him or her, and what the playwright or screenwriter says about him or her. So yeah, just know your character, know your journey. 5, objective. Go underneath the dialogue. What does he or she want from the other characters? What is the character's purpose in the scene or the story? It's always nice to know your objective, what your end goal is. What are you trying to get across to the audience? Again, this can apply to anybody. You know, as we saw with what's one of the acts that we saw tonight that just took us on a journey. I mean, Alex Davis with the Apollo 13, knowing your audience and knowing what your objective is. Number 6, obstacle. What is in the way of the character getting what he or she wants? Acting is what happens to you as you try to get your objective met in spite of the obstacle. So what obstacle is in your way? I mean, I feel like I'm back in college right now because these are like all the things I learned as a musical theater major. But yeah, what's in your way? How are you going to get to your end goal? What is your obstacle? That's a big part of your journey. 7, opposites. Yelling isn't the only way to show hatred or anger. Sometimes being quiet as you make your point is a powerful display of emotion. Playing opposites is a much more interesting choice than the obvious. I thought that was pretty cool. 8, love. Find the love in the scene. Even nasty characters should be likable on some level. Find a moment.
So true.
Yes. Find a moment in the scene where the love can show through. 9, act. Acting means to do, not to talk. Find your actions and play them. And it actually gives a resource for this, so get out your pens and paper. A wonderful resource is the book Actions, The Actor's Thesaurus by Marina Caladrone and Maggie Lloyd Williams. So that's a good one too. So
that is a good one.
I'm gonna get that book. 10, variety. Feel the levels and dynamic in the scene. Don't play one emotion. If the character is angry or tough, when might he or she show some vulnerability? Wannabe, not you. Interesting, memorable auditions will start to happen for you when you dig into scripts and these thoughts in mind before and during your auditions. So there you go. And if you want to reference this, yeah, it's only 10 Tips for a Winning Audition by Denise Simon. It was posted in January of 2019 for Backstage Casting.
You know what that reminds me of? They say like even a bad character. This is like real quick. If you have you ever seen Shameless? The dad of Shameless, Frank Gallagher, is supposed to be like he's an alcoholic dad. You're not, like he's not a good character, but you still like him. Yeah, it's one of those characters. It's just it's how it is. And it's like, I don't act. I don't know how to explain it.
Like Dexter.
Yeah.
Did you ever watch that? Yeah. I mean, he was killing people, but he was doing it for a good cause, and we were like, okay.
So before we leave you guys tonight for our next episode next week, stay tuned for that. Let's get into some predictions that we think are going to be happening with the rest of the season.
Your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
What can we predict for next? I'm just expecting to see more incredible acts. I mean, how many more judges' cuts do we have? Do we know?
We have... That's what I was going to say. I was going to say either 1 or 2 more.
I predict that if I'm going to go off of the acts I saw tonight that I think are going to go really far, the group from India, Dom Chambers, V.Unbeatable, and Ryan.
Yeah, I think
those are my 4 that I think are going to go far.
Yeah, I think V.Unbeatable. Ryan. Yeah, Ryan for sure. And then I think. Do you think John Chambers will make it at all?
I do. I said him. And then I'm gonna look back from last week to see who I like. I feel like I liked a lot more people last week too, though. I feel like this week I didn't like as many people. Last week I was wrong. I got 6 out of the 7 this time around.
And okay. So who are you the most excited to see again? I think we're both going to be saying the same thing.
Cody Lee.
Yeah, well, that's what I was going to say. I'm so excited to see his second audition. I'm so excited to see what he's gonna sing, because that was crazy. He's amazing. But thank you guys so much for watching. I can't wait till next week. I think every Tuesday we're like, can't wait to go watch it. We're like, oh, I love AGT so much, and you guys do too. We really appreciate having you guys. And tell us where we can find you, Rachel.
So you can find me at Rachel Swindler on Instagram and at Rachie Swin on Twitter.
And you can find me on Instagram at Justine Devana. So again, stay tuned, and we will see you guys next week.
Bye, guys.
Our founder, Keven Undergaro, and me, Maria Menounos, would like to thank you for tuning in to AfterBuzz TV. Remember, we're not just the first, we're the biggest in the world, and we're the only destination for all your favorite TV shows. Whatever you crave, we've got it. So go to AfterBuzzTV.com and check out our lineup. Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV.